All I want to do is take a shower, so ask my questions fast.
Chris, when you were on the stage after that game, why did you feel like it was important to bring Jimmy up?
Well, this is never about any one person. It's never about, any one player. It's a team game, and I should bring all the coaches up, so I should bring up. But I think the bowl game that we've talked about for a long time, I've always felt so strongly that this bowl game needs to send the seniors out the right way and catapult the program forward. And every time that seems like we've won a bowl game, good things have happened that next year. It's the way you want to end it.
What was it like having both Boise State and Washington fans chanting for you there at the end?
Well, a lot of good people. A lot of good people. That's all you can say. When we're excited to come to the bowl game, but when we saw the opponent, I was lukewarm on the opponent, but just because of all the people and the connections and all those things. But it is what it is, and I'm just proud of these guys. I really am. I mean, it's not. Because, again, I just thought that would make it more about me, and it's never about one person. It's just not. It's about these guys playing really, really well.
How hard was it for you to get through this week?
No. I think the guys practice. When we go to practice, it's all good. When I talk to the team, sometimes I can get a little bit emotional. But in terms of being on the field and, practicing and all that, that's just what we do.
What do you think it's going to be like tomorrow when you wake up and you don't have
It is going to be awesome. I know that. And the next day after that, too, it's going to be awesome. Maybe in a month, it might not be so awesome, figuring out what to do next. But it's going to be good for a while.
Were you on the lookout for the ice bath?
I kind of was. And then we got they got me when the fumble or the interception happened. So I was trying to stay on the field, but I got distracted.
What does that feel like?
Not really that good. Yeah.
What clicked for you guys? I mean, right at the
Yeah.
beginning of the game,
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
I don't know. I thought they practiced well the last, couple weeks. And then we came over here yesterday to do our final practice. And I could tell that I knew they'd play really hard. And I felt they'd play really well, and they did. I mean, Boise's they're a heck of a team. And for us to finish on this note, I mean, I just feel really good, again, for the guys that are leaving this program and the guys that are coming back, because you just want to keep building and feeling like you're on the upward trend, which is what it is.
Coach, you have a lot of changes on the offensive line.
Yeah.
How nervous were you about that and how they did?
I think Scott Huff does a great job with those guys, and those guys practice their tail off, and we have a lot of young talent there. I really think that. And we'll lose Nick, and, Hilber's out of there next year. But there's some really good young players. I mean, we recruited well to that position. And, Vic Curran got his feet wet in there for some real action tonight and did a good job. And so there's good depth and good talent there.
You guys were able to harass Bachmeyer pretty well tonight, and obviously made a couple mistakes. What were you guys able to do up there to really get after him?
Yeah, I thought Jimmy did a good job bringing pressure when we needed to. And our D-line, I mean, when they want to go, again, that's another group I think has been getting better all season long. Tryon and Levi and, Josiah. I mean, those guys they've been coming on strong. Ryan Bowman. Akaika Malloy does a great job of rotating those guys. We've got some young guys in there, Zion, Layoutu, all those guys. So that's going to be a good line next year.
Jimmy has talked about wanting to be more aggressive, more attacking in all phases.
Yeah.
Obviously, offense included in that. As you transition out, what is your thought on kind of the future of this offense with the personnel you've got and everything? Well,
I think we got some weapons. And, I think there's no doubt, I mean, I think we all feel like that. We've had more to us, and they'll take the next step. He'll figure out what he needs to do and tweak the offense, and there's a lot of firepower, sitting there it'll get better.
Did you make the call on Richard's pass, or was that Bush?
That was Bush. That was Bush all the way. Yep.
think when you heard that?
I loved it. It was good. Rich been doing a nice job, a little bit of wildcat, and so it was good. I think it was well timed, and Rich threw it well, and Terrell made a play. It was awesome. It wasn't poorly defended, so it was good.
You talked about the defensive line. What's the biggest difference you've seen in this defense as a whole from the beginning of the year until now?
I think maybe Elijah can build off that question, but I just think they've been getting better and better and better. We lost a lot of guys last year, 10 guys, 9 guys. And so it's going to take a while for those guys to, build skill, and you got to do it in the games, and they've done that. But I think it starts with this guy, and when we get turnovers on defense, it changes everything. When we've gotten turnovers, it's changed our team, and we got turnovers tonight. It was good.
Coach, can you talk about when you were at Oregon, you had a chance to coach Elijah's dad, or you were on the staff when he was playing there?
I'd love to take
He goes
credit
on
for
to-
Elijah's dad.
He goes on to a successful career, and now you're coaching the MVP of the bowl. Just that
Yeah.
special that is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Elijah comes from an awesome family. His mom, great lady too. They have a wonderful family, and I was coaching the wide receivers back then, and really the only coaching that I did with his dad was just talk a lot of smack to him during practice when we were receivers and DBs were going. I was so excited when we got Elijah to come to Washington because of our connection with his family, because I knew what type of people they are. And this guy's like everything you want in a college football player in terms of the type of student he is, how he treats people, and certainly how he plays.
How do you feel like Jacob played, and what does he have to do to take that next step, whether it's...
This guy? I'm supposed to answer that when he's sitting here breathing on me?
All the more reason to ask it.
Yeah.
Whether it's UW next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he threw some really good balls out there. Gave his receivers a chance to make plays, put it on them. Even kind of moved around a little bit. That was really good to see. This guy can run. He's got athleticism to him. So, he hadn't played for a long time, until this year. And I think he learned a lot of things, and I think he's growing. And whatever his future holds, I know it's going to be bright.
Jacob, what did it feel like just to have this kind of performance to end the season and in this final game?
It was awesome. Just the way this whole team played. I play well and this team plays well, and I thought starting up front, the guys did an outstanding job in protection. Our running backs ran the ball really well, and our receivers went out and made plays. And then on the other side of things, our defense got the ball back for us, and we got some stops in a lot of huge situations. So the momentum was on our side for the most part, and I think overall we just played it really well and efficiently, and got the result we wanted.
Elijah, I know that everybody on the team's talked about finishing strong for the seniors. When you have a head coach and it's going to be his last game, does that work its way into the pocket at all too?
Yeah, it's a pretty good incentive with him and the seniors too. Every game's important, but some games are a little more important. And we had a lot of weeks to kind of let this simmer, and then when we went out there, we played well.
I actually thought, as much as you guys kept talking about that they would play not as hard because they're so sick of hearing about it. So I'm just glad we got through it.
Elijah, on their scoring drive, they look to take every trick out of the bag. To talk on defense when they were doing that.
I was clapping my hands going off the field just because they really earned that. They were, scratching and clawing the whole time. So, we all looked at each other and it was like, good, we're glad this happened. We're going to respond.
I was really happy. They got one trick play for a first down. We got one for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Coach, it feels like you kind of ran from that reputation of using trick plays after the Fiesta Bowl. Was it kind of ironic to have one here?
I just used to always say this. We didn't run that many. I mean, we would have a trick play in every game, and we'd maybe call it. Sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes we called 2 trick plays and none others. When we played in that game way back when, we had those 3 that all just kind of worked, and so then it was trick play university. But it's kind of always been the same to me. It feels like.
Elijah, that interception in the third quarter really kind of shut down any momentum they were able to get. What happened on that play, and how big of a swing was that play?
I was just a hook player, and so I'm just reading the quarterback, and it was a slow developing play. So I kind of read his eyes and then saw the running back flare out, and then then took it. But I mean, yeah, after that play, I went towards the offense. I was like, okay, it's your turn to go. And, you know, they did their thing. And then that's when I looked at Skinny and Nick and those guys, and, like, you could just see it, that we were all having fun. So, yeah, it turned out the way we wanted it to.
Jacob, as you make your decision here about your future in the coming weeks, what are some of the factors that you'll really heavily consider?
I mean, there's several factors. There's a lot of things, you know, going on here, and there's a lot of different things going on there. And, you know, I'm not really into discussing it right now. I got to have a lot of conversation with my family and these coaches and this team and figure it out. But right now, I'm, you know, super proud to be a part of this team and you know, really happy with the way we finished this season.
Jacob, what's your sense about the future of this offense and the kind of guys that are coming back next season?
I think they can be tremendous. I know Coach Lake's did an outstanding job, and we got a lot of guys coming back. We're losing a few guys, but I know these young guys have you know, started to make their mark this season. They're going to continue to do that next season. So you know, there's a lot to look forward to at University of Washington, and you know, it could be fun.
Elijah, having worked closely with Coach Lake as an assistant coach, how do you feel about the transition to him as a head coach?
I mean, I feel probably the best out of everyone, just because I've seen what he's done for you know, for DBs in my class and the class before me, and he's learned a lot from Coach Pete, like he said so many times. So you know, we're going to carry on a good tradition.
Elijah, what is the biggest difference you've seen in this defense from the beginning of the year until now?
It's tough to pinpoint. I think Coach Pete kind of touched on it early with the front, you know, the front line getting after the quarterback. That makes it a lot easier for us. And then kind of the same thing when we can make a play happen, and it makes it easy for them. So we just got to get in a rhythm and then really gain confidence.
Elijah, what's your confidence level like right now? Where you have a 4-interception season, leading the team in tackles. Just how do you feel about your own play at this point?
I feel pretty good, but I can always get better, and I've always been sort of a perfectionist. So I'm looking forward to the offseason where I can get better.
Good?
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Sweet. Yeah.
You're 4-0 here in Vegas now with Las Vegas Bulls. I just kind of thought through the years coming here, and then when you come back as a spectator, it's moving over to Allegiant.
Yeah, I think this is a great place. It's a great bowl, 4-0. I need to take some of that luck to the tables tonight maybe and see how I do, huh? Probably not.